Hello, all you beautiful people out there. What is going on? This is your friend Bertie coming at you fast with the very first one of my map walkthroughs of the closed core alpha map. Alright, so this is Core's closed alpha map right here. This is the map that we will be playing on for the closed alpha. This is just a map test build. It is subject to change, so if you see some weird textures here or there, it will change. But this will be the map that people will be playing on during the core closed alpha. And I just have to say right off the bat, it is stupid gorgeous, dude. Like, it is dumbass gorgeous. There's no other way to put it. Especially for something in closed alpha, this goes far and beyond my expectations, and in some aspects, it looks even better than Paragon's old map, especially Monolith. It just looks so fantastic. So I'll go over this map with you guys. I'll walk through it together with you and give you some specs and info about this map. So one thing I want to throw out these numbers before I forget. It takes 45 seconds to run from duo lane to solo lane through the jungle, and it takes about 60 seconds to run from one core to the other. So that's how it is with these movement speeds. Now, they went with the Monolith A aesthetics, as you can see by these turrets and by the color schemes. They went with the dawn side versus the dusk side, but the layout is not at all like Monolith's layout, okay? It's a very, very different style map. It's a very different jungle, very different lanes. You guys will see. But just focus on the textures, focus on the shadows, focus on how the sunlight bounces off of metallic surfaces. You can actually see reflections, you can see moving water, the grass sways in the wind, the trees sway in the wind. It's just incredible. There's a couple of gripes I have, one of them being this ground right here, this dirt. It just looks a little too flat, it looks a little too basic, a little too perfect, actually, to be dirt. And then the jungle is also a little dark. Probably need to brighten that up a bit, but these are all concerns that I have already relayed over to MetaBuff, and they're going to be taking a look at that. But just look how beautiful this is, man. Just ridiculous. So right now we're in mid lane right now. The mid lane does have a zigzag pattern. It has a river running through the middle right here. As soon as you switch over from dawn side to dusk side, the grass dies. It turns to a brown color. Notice the sunlight. You know, the shadows poking through, peering through. Very nice. And I really like what they did with the dusk side. They made this beautiful obsidian, shiny, metallic look to it. You can see the shadows of the clouds passing by there on the grass while it waves. Just an incredible amount of detail. So much detail. Here you can see the sheen of the obsidian turrets mixed with blue. It looks so nice with that blue in there, by the way. I love that color scheme. You can see again the shininess off of metallic surfaces of the sunlight, and it's just phenomenal. The shadows, the lights, everything, again, exceeded my expectations. I can't stop gushing about it. I was literally in awe the first time I saw this running through it. There's going to be some things that I'll point out here a little bit later in the video. But for now, I just ran straight down the middle, through mid lane, going to the other side. Notice how the sunlight bounces off of this metallic turret right here. You guys see that? Really realistic, really dope. That was one of the key things about Paragon that drew a lot of people in, was its pretty graphics, especially when the other 3D MOBA was Smite, still running on Unreal Engine 3. So of course, in comparison, Paragon's much better. There are some textures that are not in place yet. Like I said, it's still subject to change. It would be so cool if we could have like lava flowing down that big monolith pillar right there. But yeah, now we're gonna run down solo lane. So 1v1 and 2v2 are back. It's not gonna be an offlane situation. It's gonna be 1v1 and 2v2. So right now we're going down the 1v1 side, and the reason this is the 1v1 side is because blue camp, blue jungle buff is on this side of the jungle. Notice the elevation in the lanes. Notice the walls in the lanes. Notice the shadow fog walls. I almost called them shadow walls. Notice the fog walls. They didn't go with shadow pools. They went with fog walls in this map, but I think it turned out pretty good. I like the placements of the fog walls. Notice the trees swaying. There's just a little bit of the jungle. We'll explore the jungle much more a little bit later, but here you can just jump through over these walls if you want to get to lane quicker than just running through these big doorways. A lot of verticality in this map. A lot. You see these rock formations here, these kind of ramps that you can actually get stuck on, like actual rocks. They're actually jagged, actual collision involved there. Very, very nice. I like the amount of elevation. It really gives characters with those movement abilities like Kalari the ability to take advantage of the environment, to jump over and gank in ways, for example, if you're Rampage as a jungler, gank in ways that others might not, like Grux won't be able to. But at the same time, it's not so overpowered that you feel inclined to play a character that does have those movement abilities. I found multiple ways to gank in every single lane. Despite having Kalari's double jump, there's still possible ways to gank even if you can't jump so high like Grux. So here we have the continuation of offlane. The pearlescent, I love what they do with the Dawn side here, because the white surfaces are like pearl. They're actually pearls. You look at the sunlight and it bounces off in such a pearlescent rainbow kind of reflection. Here we take a look at a regular jungle minion camp. A lot of detail here. There's some overgrowth on their faces, on their helmets. Some of them are broken open. You can see the wires in their heads as if they were sleeping and they were just awoken from their slumber. The pillars, the gold on white looks really nice, of course. So again, the aesthetics of Monolith, I think, were very, very pretty in comparison to Legacies. The only thing I miss about Legacy is the flowers on top of the jungles. Maybe they'll add that in later, but honestly, they wanted to go with a more ominous and dark jungle look, which is why it's so dark in here with all these shadows. Here I'm running through this side of the jungle, the blue side of the jungle. This seems to me like the strong side of the jungle, but both jungle sides are actually equal. They both have 3 white camps and a buff. So right now I'll show you guys a cool little route that I found in the very beginning. Let's say you're starting off the game. Let's say river buffs spawn at 3 minutes like they did on Monolith. You start off at that first jungle camp, then you drop down this ledge and hit blue buff. Then you come over here to the right side. I just paused here to take a look at the beautifulness of this jungle. But you come over here to the right side, you take this jungle camp to the right around this corner. All right, I'm auto-attacking it. Yeah, killing them. Cool. And then you go over to the left side over here, closer to mid lane. You're going to take this jungle camp, and then at this point in time, it should be about 3 minutes, if not 3 minutes already, depending on how fast you can clear these, and then you just go straight to river buff, which, as you guys will see, is not super duper close to mid lane. Like, if the mid laner wants to take these river buffs, they really have to commit. They have to get out here and take these river buffs. So same thing, and it provides the junglers on the other side, your enemy jungler, it provides them a good chance to catch out your friendly teammate mid laner and vice versa. So I really like that. I really like how you have to commit to that river buff, and then you can just come over here, and if you're Kalari or Feng Mao or whatever, you can jump up here and gank from up here from this side. We'll take a look at mid lane here again in a second. But mid lane, what I really like is the verticality, the difference in verticality on the platforms. There's a very tall platform, as you guys saw in there, that really reminded me of a platform made for Howitzer, although it's not super tall, so other heroes can get up there as well. And there's a shorter platform on the other side available there as well in mid lane. The jungles are symmetrical, so they are not offset. They are symmetrical, so both blue side buffs are going to be on the same side on Dusk and Dawn, so they'll be right across from each other, and same thing with the red buff jungle on the other side. Here you can see Orb Prime. It looks like they made him bigger, which is a good change. He's supposed to be big and menacing. I come here to look at the back. You can see he's got like a gold spine. It's really cool looking metallic frame of Orb Prime. Beautiful particle effects, by the way. And there's multiple entrances. You can go through that main entrance, and then you can also jump over the wall on both sides. So there's at least 3 entrances, maybe 4 if you're Aurora. You can go through the back and use her Glacial Charge to build a ramp over the back wall. Same thing here, except now here we have Fangtooth, or in core they're called Remnants now. So this is where the Remnant Pit is. It will function similarly to Fangtooth, where it'll give you different random buffs every time you kill it. But they changed the name, and they made it bigger as well. Very menacing indeed. And you can run through its legs. That's how big it is now. So that's pretty cool. I really enjoy doing that. Really hope it doesn't poop on me, though. And same thing, you can jump over the walls and go through the main entrance. Now here we are in the red buff jungle, which also has 3 camps. And instead of a blue buff, that I don't know what the effects of the blue buff are going to be just yet, you'll have a red buff, which I'm assuming will just give you damage. In fact, you want the red buff most likely to go on your carry, at least later in the game. Early on in the game, you probably want it on your jungler. Later on in the game, you'd be giving your red buff over to your carry, just like you gave green buff over to your carry later on in the game on Monolith. And so, again, it's a very similar route. You go into the beginning of the jungle from Dawn side, so you can clear that first white camp, and then you can drop down the ledge, clear the red camp, and then you can come to the side white camp. So here's this red buff that I was talking about, and there's a ledge right behind it. So I'll jump over that ledge and show you guys what I mean, where you want to start off this route. So if you were to go down this side, left side, there's also another Ember link there as well, Ember Harvester. There's minions right there. So the Ember Harvesters, I showed you guys, there's actually one in the solo lane as well. So you'll have solo laners fighting each other for that Ember Harvester. They haven't really gone over the mechanics yet, but they said they want it to function similarly to Harvesters, where you have to stand on a plate and collect it. I'm not sure. Maybe it would be cool if you stand on the plate, you get more Ember. If you just damage the core, you absorb and siphon a little less of the Ember, but it's quicker and less risky, because you guys saw in lane, you have to get really out of position to get that resource. So I'm really interested to see what kind of mechanics they end up going with. And here you have dual lane. Again, you have the rock formations. You have two different platforms of varying heights, varying distances from the turret. One is closer inside the turret for defending. One is outer, closer to the outer rim of the turret's zone, turret's area for defending. And what's really neat about this is you guys can see the side area right here, which is half and half, dawn side and dusk side. That is actually where the Orb Prime dunk area is, as you guys will see right here. And for mechanics, I think it would make sense if instead of just running in here and automatically dunking, quote-unquote, the Orb Prime, it would be better that you would have to stand here, like as if you're planning a Harvester. You would have to stand on that circular platform for, I don't know, about 5 seconds or so. So you have to expose yourself, but you'd also have to stand still on top of that area in order to activate Prime, because if I'm just Kallari, I can jump over this wall and just land right in there. So I would, of course, have to run through this entire lane first, so a good team would probably try to block me before I even get that close. But I'm just saying, maybe if you want to play around with that kind of mechanic, put a 2-3 second delay, so you can't just Rampage ultimate and then jump up in there. Actually, they got rid of Rampage's jump at the end of Monolith, but still, you guys know what I mean. It might be a little too OP in favor of heroes that can jump around like Kallari, but we'll just have to wait and see. That's where Orb Prime Dunk is located. So Orb Prime Dunking is confirmed, like I said in my previous videos. You kill Orb Prime, he'll drop an orb, and then you pick it up and run it over and dunk it in that well. Again, though, the mechanics are being experimented with. They're not sure whether the last hitter should absorb the orb automatically, whether when you kill Orb Prime, the orb should just drop on the ground and whoever picks it up, or anything in between. I'm not exactly sure how they're going to end up doing any of those details. All we have for now is the map, and we know that Kallari's old ultimate is confirmed, the one from the very beginning in closed alpha on Legacy, which I'm super excited for. And of course, for those of you wondering about Kallari's double jump, it will be nerfed. It won't be so high as it is right now. This is simply just for the map testing, map run through. Because Kallari's jump is so high, you could do some hardcore parkour here up in the canopy of the jungle, so to speak. Everything just looks so goddamn incredible gorgeous. I just cannot stop gawking at it, dude. I'm sorry. I'm just such a big fan. After seeing this map, my hype manifested into a reality. And if you guys want to see more of this map, you guys can tune into my streams where we just have a really good time, and we do crazy stuff like do giveaways and have just a crazy fun time on stream. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you like about the map. Also, you guys can see all the different planets here orbiting around the arena. This will probably have something to do with the lore. And then the last planet that you will see when we're looking at Kallari's face right here, that really big one in the back, actually has thunderstorms going on top of the atmosphere, so you guys can see that as well while we get on out of here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, drop a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And as always, make sure you have a wonderful day. Peace.